Joe Jackson, stepping out here on BBC Radio London. If you know me personally, okay, you know I love a good quiz. Like, I actually feel like BBC Sport missed a trick by not making me the question of sport host. I absolutely would have nailed that gig. I promise you, I would have been like, I love it. Okay. General knowledge and trivia. At Christmas, I am that woman. I'm the quiz master. I have a sheet of paper. I organise everyone's in teams. My family are sick of me, but I love it. I quiz my kids. They don't even know what's going on half the time. They just feel pressure. But I like pop quizzes, you know? So here we go. This is a quiz for you. Who was Mary Seacole? When did Ghana gain its independence? In which London borough is the Windrush Square? There's no prizes for guessing. I like correct answers only, you know, A-star student. Questions like these, of course, they can be found on a brand new app, and it's launched in Black History Month. It's called the Frontroom, and it specialises in Black history and culture. It's been co-created by Carl Wilson, who joins me now on the phone. Carl, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm fine, thank you.
Brilliant stuff. Now, the questions that I just asked, I'm sure you already know the answer to, obviously.
No comment.
I love that. I love that you created the app. Don't worry about knowing the answers, but this is brilliant.
No, I'm learning. I said I was creating it. I'm learning, to be quite honest with you, and that's the whole thing behind it, you know.
It is. It's brilliant, and you're right. It is. It's for people who are curious and want to learn in a fun way, I guess. And how does the app work?
Well, basically, it is a trivia app. It asks you questions. It'll ask you a question about history or culture or entertainment, anything really that's kind of anything to do with the African and Caribbean community. And you simply download the app, and then you've got categories that you can choose from. You can choose from like history, Black history. You can choose from entertainment or Caribbean type thing, and you just simply click on it, and then it will present you with questions, and you know it's timed. So there's a section in there where you can set the time limits as well. You can play, you can use it, and you can play family members. You can even play somebody who's not in this country. You can play people who you don't know, because there's a section where if you say you want to challenge somebody on their knowledge on history, and then you just click on this particular section, and it will scan the world to see if there's anybody else that wants to challenge somebody. And if they're doing it at the same time as you, then the two of you will come up. You'll say, you know, you versus whoever it is, and then you can play them.
Oh, this is
or
brilliant.
You can set up groups. You can, as I said, you can do up to 50 people can be challenged in the group at any one time. But it starts up. You can have any number from 1 to 50, but it goes like 5, 10, and so on. How you set it, and all you do is you share the code, and they'll come on and they'll just put the code in, and they'll join that group, and so you can have kind of group, as I said, all family kind of events where you're all quizzing each other.
This is brilliant. I've just gone up on my phone and I've whacked it in, okay, and it comes up as Frontroom Trivia. All right, so I'm looking at it. It's great.
Cool.
Yeah, brilliant colours and lovely graphics. Right, I'm downloading this, okay, Carl. I'm going to send it to my friends and family. I've got family all over the world. I'm going to be like, right, Saturday night, 10 o'clock, make sure you're logged in. And that's great, isn't it? And it's a fun way of learning. How important is that for you to be able to make sure that whatever you put out there in an app like this, it still has an element of fun?
Yeah, I think it is important. I think especially because obviously a lot of people, when they talk about Black history, it's mainly just to do with the slavery and so on. But there's just so much more to Black history, and the kids nowadays, obviously, they like to, they don't just want to be taught about slavery. They want to kind of get involved and have fun, and adults as well. Everybody wants to have fun. And I think what we was trying to do was to put something in place where people could learn about Black history all year round. This is the type of thing where we're putting new questions in on a daily basis, so, and it's going to be something that's continued. The old questions will stay there as well, and they'll come up in random orders. But as we put questions in, obviously, and this is going to be an everlasting thing, if you like, you know. But yeah, it is fun, and it's good when the family come together and they have, you know, or you can even sit down there on your own and play it yourself. You know, you can play against yourself and so on.
And we think about Black history and how it's taught in schools. It's been a thing, hasn't it, Carl? Where so many of the Black community are not happy with just how much is put across on the curriculum. And how do you feel about it in terms of being able to educate in schools versus actually maybe it should start at home?
Yeah, I think it's important for it to obviously start at home. It is important for it also to be in the schools. When I was at school, the only thing, as I said, the only thing I remember is that they taught me that something that was called middle passage, you know, and you saw the picture of the boat with all of these kind of, you may as well call them bodies lying down or whatever, and they said that was middle passage, you know, and that's about all I learned about it. In fact, I mean, I went through a lot of racism when I was growing up, a lot, and you know, I remember feeling, in fact, I'll go as far as saying that I remember my teacher put her hand on my nose and her fingers on my cheek and pushed my head against the wall. And told me that, you know, you Black people, you know, you can't do anything except sports or music. That's what she said to me, you know. And, you know, well, it hurt, obviously, but I didn't quite, you know, you're young, so you don't really understand everything. But as I grew up and I started to reflect on that, so that's one of the reasons why I said, you know, for me, you know, it's important that we try and encourage our community to really, you know, to be a part of it, you know, to make sure that it happens, you know, Black history, that we own things as well, you know, it's about ownership as well.
Yeah, so it's important, isn't it? And then there are so many great initiatives at the moment out there, like Black Pound Day, of course, where, you know, many people are out there and they're supporting Black businesses, and they feel like, okay, Black History Month is also a good month just to raise the awareness of it. But how do you feel actually about Black History Month as a concept? Because you've launched this, of course, during Black History Month. People are aware, the conversation is quite active. But how do you feel about the rest of the year? November, December, right through to September, rolling around.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people, you know, you get a lot of people who say, what's the point of having Black History Month? It should be all year round. And I believe that as well. But I don't think that it's a bad thing to have Black History Month. And the reason why I don't is because in the first place, obviously there was no history, and the fact that they put that in place was a step up, if you see what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It was like it was being recognized that there was a need for Black history, for people to be made aware of Black history, you know, so that's a good thing. But this is something that, yes, I believe should be in the curriculum. I believe it should be taught every day. And I believe that, and I think one of the reasons why it's important is that, you know, the Black children and even the adults, we need to see what we've been through. And we also need to see the things that we've achieved. We need to see our own people achieving, you know, and that's why I think it's important. So we've got things in there, questions in there on the Black inventors and the things that they've invented and so on, you know.
So all different types of questions, isn't it? Right. So you download it, you set up an app. Who got all the questions for you? Who was your quiz master? I'm disappointed you didn't come to me, Carl, and so I could add my knowledge to your database.
Well, no, listen, that's open because we've actually, if you go to the website, if you go to we've got a section on the website where we're asking people to send questions to us, you know.
Brilliant.
And obviously we'll check everything first. But remember, we've only launched it this week, you know what I mean? Or so I should say last week, you know. So we're trying now, obviously, to market it and get more people using it and so on. We're not going to take it's going to take a while, but we're asking everybody, obviously, to download it and to share it, you know. And you can, you know, it's available in the App Store and the Play Store, as you said earlier. It's called all you got to do is put in Frontroom Trivia, and look for the yellow.
The yellow face. It looks brilliant. It looks absolutely brilliant. I've downloaded it already. I'm all over it, Carl. Thank you so much. I'm going to be promoting it because I guess it's a fun way to learn. So thank you for coming on and sharing that with us.
No, and thank you and thank everybody else for listening, really.
Thank you. That's Carl Wilson, co-creator of the Frontroom Trivia app. He's no stranger, though, to innovation. He won a Mayor of London's Innovation Challenge back in 2018. He is an inventor. So it's good to be able to get him on and speak about that. Of course, it is Black History Month, October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, October. So there's a lot of things on this station, on this show, the afternoon show, that I want to be speaking to you about. So please do get in touch as always. You can always email me if you've got any ideas or stories that you want us to cover here on the show, Jeanette@bbc.co.uk. But it leaves me to say farewell to you now. I'm going to hand you over to sport around about 6 o'clock. So thanks to my team, Akeem, Sanya and Tom. We will be back. I'll be back next week, Monday. So Salma is in with you tomorrow. Just double check that. Salma's with you tomorrow. And I'll see you, like I said, on Monday. Have a lovely evening.